Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Mina Crichton. I'm the narrator of this video clip, and today's date is the 5th of July 2025. Okay, so I just felt on my heart that I needed to continue updating you on my video clip and keeping everybody in tuned with my court case and my social media platform. There is also evidence for my court cases that's linked currently pending in the high courts. Okay, so I'll just start with the usual with an introduction, and the whole idea is just to keep my video clips in the moment and just updating everyone as things happen, obviously, because I'm glued to the opposing allies. They've studied me. They've illegally did scientific experiment on me while I was working for my employer. And a lot of the things I didn't realize was happening to me as far as social media globally, the coding, the illegal Commonwealth games involving myself and my private life, my soul, and then digging up my past. So for those that are watching me and are tuned in, so basically it's whether you believe me or the opposing allies. But I'm going to do this today, and I'll just do it like I usually do, start off with an introduction, and then I'll just kind of go over quickly with what's on my heart as far as the topic. Okay guys, so obviously I'm a whistleblower. Okay, so it's up against many corporate bodies and agencies involving the government, but it's not just New Zealand government, it's a global Commonwealth illegal game involving, many people historically, a very dangerous one. And it's actually a very, very, very serious warlike game upon innocent civilians, okay, without them knowing. And that is my personal experience going back to 2010. And now the evidence is very black and white, and it's quite easy to prove now criminally in a criminal case as they put everything together. They've a case of home invasion, obviously, which is illegal in any generation, and it is a conspiracy game too. So yeah, so I will just continue with this, but it is up against in my case, the Crown. The Crown is the offender. The Crown is the people that are representing the defendants, okay? And I'm actually the plaintiff and the prosecutor, and also the victim in the matter, okay? Okay, so we're dealing with, my case is definitely discrimination and a very serious violation of all the laws. Okay, so that's what's happened in my case. Every single law that protects an individual's liberty, that protects an individual's personal property, is broken. Okay, so we're dealing with my civil rights as an individual. It's definitely 100% a indictable case. So it's a very, very, very serious case. Okay, it's a case of where I have been used historically for a pecuniary advantage just from a breach. Okay, so it's a left behind case, and basically I'm putting everything together. It's actually quite hard for me to actually get my head around my cases in the first instance because it's so intimate. It's mind-blowing for me. It's traumatizing because it's reliving the incidents. So it's it's a miracle I'm still alive, but I'm going to go with it. And yeah, just update you with what's happening. So you can go on my YouTube channel. It's called Authentic Continuity Entrepreneur. I'm the narrator. The YouTube channel is all about me. It's about my testimony, a little bit of everything just about, and basically even my legal case. So it is my property, my YouTube channel. And yes, I'm not breaking any laws because I am the victim. In fact, there are laws that protect me in my country, so I'm within my right to disclose everything to do with myself and my court case, and I'm not discriminating myself. I'm basically putting my case together because there's definitely a home invasion that's taken place without my consent, linking to all my court cases, my employer, you name it. They did it, and it's illegal, and it's also a sport. So they've basically used my life as a sport. And an illegal Commonwealth sport is so dangerous, so personal, so intimate. It's yeah, all the laws are broken. Okay, so this is an indictable case, 100%. Okay, it shouldn't even be in the civil jurisdiction. Everything is a setup, everything's premeditated, everything's pre-calculated is the word. Okay, so when you are a whistleblower and gone through what I've gone through historically, it means your privacy is gone, and everyone is trading in trading in influence, which means is very likely your case is prejudiced or biased decisions are being made by those in public office. If you're doing a court case, that's very likely to happen. Everything I've gone through all clearly reveals that, but trading in business or trading in influence involving court cases, I'm talking about the court registry office or court deputy registrar, whatever title they've got, and also those in public office like politicians, the judges. It is actually illegal for them to be trading in influence, okay, for obvious reasons, so it doesn't prejudice our case, and it, so there's a fair hearing for the for all parties. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, because I used to work in I used to do or I did course, taking courts in different cases. So when a person is trading in influence, they are actually breaking the law and committing serious breaches. So unlawful strikes definitely can reveal that that's taken place in my case. And the penalty for that is 7 years imprisonment. Yeah. All right. Also, setups is a crime. Okay, so quite obviously, I'm glued to the opposing allies where they're using substitutes. It's called animation or inanimate. So they are, to me, well, I'm not the one who seeked out to make them my competitor, but to them, I'm their competitor. Okay, so they've invaded my personal space and secretly glued themselves to myself, and linking themselves to my court cases and other people in my personal private life. So setting up traps comes in place. Okay, so setting up a trap is if you're retrieving anything without the consent of the person, it's a breach of privacy no matter how you retrieve it. So I'm dealing with privacy breaches. And with the technologies, I found that the misuse of devices globally is what they are doing to study a individual and then using their past against them, or digging up their past and using it to defame them, interpreting it with your own interpretation secretly, and then indirectly coding whatever their finding is to their people. And this is how you get a conspiracy, a criminal alliance. Obviously, they're wanting to destroy my personal reputation, and so that I'm opposing that, and I'm continuously going to be opposing that publicly until all my court cases are finished. So they are cheating, okay, and it is a conspiracy. It's a very serious one, by using the misuse of devices and then embedding themselves in people's private space to take over. So setups can come under this, okay? I know that they've dug up my past or repeated what I've said, and then they've gone and find the person that I've talked about, and then they've used them against me, or find out what they've got to say, and then they like to paint a pretty picture as if I've committed a crime in their own interpretation. So yeah, this is like more like it's a warlike conspiracy. It's cheating. They're doing it without my consent or without even me knowing. It just so happens I'm very gifted, I'm very blessed, and I'm grateful to God for all my gifts, and I'm able to actually know exactly where they are or what they're up to or their next move. So publicly I will be exposing that. But it is 5 years imprisonment. A setup can also be in a car accident. I feel I'm right within the center of God's will for my life, okay, because of the changes, the court system, and also the relationship, using relationship scams to secretly steal, and also undoing all the money laundering purposes in my life by the opposing allies. So this is the New Age system involving powerful people, involving people with money, but they're actually trafficking innocent civilians. So I didn't realize how it worked until I actually got derailed from my job, but now I can actually prove that all what I've gone on since I got derailed from my job happened while I was working for my employer. So it's very easy for me to actually interpret it, or even for a criminal barrister or a criminal judge to actually see the merits in my cases as organised crimes. My case has already gone through the criminal process and through the process of this new criminal system, and it's already been admitted, or it goes through to the chief district court judge for criminal, and he's already written that my case has definitely got criminal merits. Okay, so it has merits for a criminal case. Okay, so it is definitely a criminal case. I've always known that from day one, because that is my background, the criminal courts, criminal laws. So I did that most of the time, most of the years working for the government is in the criminal summary, and I also did jury trials, depositions, doing indictable cases. So basically kind of like started from the top, going through all the court system. And I did civil too for a good 4 years. I did the civil jurisdiction, so I do know what I'm talking about. Even though the systems change, it's not foreign to me. It's actually very easy for me to articulate and interpret the evidence and also the laws according to my case. The other thing that I found very serious and dangerous to what they've done to me is they definitely have trapped me. So it's a case where I am a trapped individual, and then I'm being secretly micromanaged by my enemies, or you'll find my enemies within my personal life, they're serving you over the counter. This is consistent with the government inciting. So to them, I'm the enemy, but according to the law, I'm not the enemy. I'm actually the victim, and I'm within my right to stand against what they have actually done to me. Is quite serious. Okay, it's organized crime, it's illegal commonwealth, secret stealing and thieving by powerful people with lots of money, and using relationship scams, and dehumanizing another human being for the purpose other people to gain the benefits. So yeah, it's a very serious criminal case. Okay guys, it's a sport. They're using music, they're using sound effects, they're digging up my past and using that against me. So the latest. Okay, I will challenge. I know that my allies are watching everything I'm doing, listening to everything I'm saying. I've always been taught to stand up for myself. I believe in standing up for yourself. I don't like bullies. I'm not a bully. Okay, I've never been a bully. I've always been one that I'm a quiet person by nature, usually, but I will not tolerate bullying. I do not tolerate cybercrime. I do not like bullies. Any kind of bully. I don't care how powerful they think they may be. I don't care what position they hold. Respect is a two-way thing, okay? Integrity is a two-way path. You don't force yourself in another person's personal space. And, respect is a two-way thing, but that's why we have laws, so there's balance. And if people were obeying the laws, then, the integrity should be the foundation of any services and any government organisation, okay? So I'm opposing everything they've said about me. I've realised what the opposing allies are doing. Again, the latest is when I was in high school. I think I might have been about 9 or 10 years old, okay? And there was a bully at school. I think it might have been, I was about 9. I was standard 4, it was called. So I was still in primary school. I was still a child. And my father used to teach us to stand up for ourselves if anyone picked on us. I've always been a quiet child. I was a shy child. At this point in time, there was a bully, a female. She was taller than me. I was just a little shrimp. My build as a child, I was just a tiny little girl, and short, tiny and skinny. I was just very petite. And there was a bully at school, and one day this bully decided to bully me, okay, after bullying other people, and she frightened other kids, and they were scared of her because she was a bully. So one day she decided to bully me in school, and this is in primary school, and I was a child. And so and I stood up for somebody and told her to stop it. And then she wanted to have a fight. And so I said, okay, then I'll take that challenge. And we ended up challenging after school. Of course, she was really tall. I'm not joking. I was just a little shrimp. And I decided to, to hit her, which I did. So I just grabbed my fist, hit her, and took off. Okay, so that video clip that's floating around by the government, what you're doing is wrong. Okay, you're defaming somebody's reputation without my permission. So this isn't a good example of what they have done to me. Okay, they're digging up people's past, building an alliance, a very serious, deadly alliance with everybody that has committed a serious crime on me, and then they put them in my space. Everything's done in advance. Okay, and can I get into trouble by the law for doing that? Of course not. I was a child. I was a kid. My father taught me how to box, and but she never bullied on me again, and she never bullied anyone else. But that was in self-defense. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing publicly. And also, I'm not scared. Why should I be scared for telling the truth and telling my side of the story? No, I know who you are too, because that is what everyone is doing to me. That is illegal. That is a coward. Shame on you too for using those kind of methods. But obviously, this is nothing new. They've done this with everything else. They've dug up my past and called me a hoa, called me all kinds of names using things that have happened to me as a child or as a teenager. And my background is completely different from everybody, and I'm not the type of person who has acted like the victim, but they've dug up my past and then ridiculed it and defame me indirectly by coding, some pretty inhumane, very serious, defaming it's called conspiracy crimes, false accusation. But this is the new age system, and this is what they're actually doing personally to those that are being targeted. So anything good, they're stealing, and in exchange of them, telling lies. It is a public sport. It is an illegal Commonwealth game. Words cannot describe how evil it is. Okay, so they've glued me. They've glued my family, all the originals, with the people that have stolen. Okay, so we've got all these agencies now, but that's what these agencies are doing. They're gluing their own people to the originals and making them like the innocent or the good party, and then picking the faults and the flaws in the originals in my space is just another form of defamation. So there's several layers of perpetrators. Okay, so the whole idea of the hate alliance is discrimination. So they're picking on the person's age, their looks. They've gone too far. Like they've said some pretty nasty things for me, and I have within my right to sue everyone involved. The whole idea is to make the originals ugly, or just to turn honest people away from them. Okay, so this is the sport. It's an unfair sport. It is a coward's game. And then, they're taking out very intelligent people who have worked very hard all their life. By the way, everyone, I'm not gay. I'm straight. I'm a very straight person. And I don't care. I mean, I don't, what people do in their private life, that's their business. That's my attitude. And that's got nothing to do with anything I'm going through at all. What I'm doing right now is just taking ownership of my own personality, my own entity, my life, and opposing the unlawful strikes written about me and my court cases. So if you've been watching all my other video clips, I think everyone knows what animation or inanimate is. Okay, this is what they did to me while I was working for my employer. So unfortunately, my employer is in big trouble anyway, which was Ministry of Justice. So everyone going backwards could be done for treason and other serious offences. But this is what they're actually doing. They've used my life like a compass. They're using me to steal everything and anything. and they've actually turned my family or anyone against me, making me feel isolated and exiled, but they are secretly defaming. But it's all about money to them and reputation, and I'm taking back what's rightfully mine, which is my life and everything about myself. So in my case, everyone, the defendant is the Crown. Okay, the Crown is the government, the state. I'm the victim, but I have not acted like the victim. According to the laws, I am the victim. Everything that what everyone is doing to me is wrong, and there's sufficient evidence to make people accountable for very serious conspiracy, warlike games, and also money laundering, and also relationship scams. You become the conspirator if you're deceiving the public, lying, while the originals are fighting for their life and being, spiritually attacked, or spiritually or publicly or secretly taken down, locked out, blocked by the government, and that's exactly what they've done to me. Okay, so this is all these things have taken place. Everything is questionable and can be, whether it's a setup, intentional. I have actually exhausted the system. So, and I've also found a law that no one can actually take me to court or sue me because I'm the victim. So, but I am within my right to stand against everything that I've gone through. Obviously, defamation's taken place. And as long as God gives me air to breathe, I'm not letting the opposing allies steal my good reputation. And also I will make them all accountable for historical home invasion and stealing, using me for a pecuniary advantage. Is it easy to prove? Yes. So easy setups take place, and I don't like bullies, and they've bullied me. They've used my religion as some kind of an excuse to do what they're doing. It's wrong, and so I'm standing against all that. So as usual, I'm standing against all the public lies to do with Henry Cavill and all those other women. Okay, so the criminal tactics by those doing tarot reading, where they're doing reading cards, okay, that's a criminal tactic, guys. Okay, so they've animated or inanimated me, and I'm denouncing that Henry is not even with Natalie, the real Henry Cavill. There's so much I cannot disclose just yet. So hopefully in the near future, everything will surface, but I'm opposing it because of, the legal side of it in my country. Okay, so I'm denouncing all these people. They are the conspirators. They are linked to the Commonwealth Games globally by other people in government. I have a reason to believe other people in government, not necessarily New Zealand government, but others, overseas, are committing serious breaches by using trafficking of other humans. So no one is safe. I'm the original, and I have felt so frustrated because I know that my environment is sometimes hostile, whether they're using their jobs, because they're just coding, and the people in my space are moved by the coding. That's serious. That's a very serious thing globally, because you don't know who it is, and then they've turned my life into an illegal Commonwealth game. So the agencies that are micromanaging are representing their country, so I've already explained all this in my other video clips, but it is exactly as I have described it. I am the original. What is it about me that is a competition to them? It's my beliefs, obviously, even though I haven't gone around Bible bashing or anything like that while I was at work. So they're opposing that. They're opposing everything to do with my character, anything to do with, well, money laundering, obviously. Okay. So I'm opposing the whole system as far as the unlawful strikes. They are illegal. So they've actually turned me into a slave. Okay, so basically these laws come in where it is actually illegal to turn anyone a slave. It's 14 years imprisonment. So anyone in New Zealand can do what I'm doing, gather evidence just to prove that you are being used for a pecuniary advantage. You can't go forward. Somebody's secretly stealing your ideas or stopping you from advancing, or keeping you pinned down. That is what I felt that everyone has done. They're reading all my data and my correspondence with Henry. That's how they're getting tipped off, and that's how they're stopping everything. Okay, obviously it's to do with money, but that this is what the illegal Commonwealth is happening. So basically people are exploited. So I'm an exploited person. So I'm doing everything possible to go forward, and everything you're sending to the by email hub or website. Like, for example, if you go job searching or anything like that, you're blacklisted. Okay, so that's the reason why it's not easy to get a job. It's very likely you are going through what I'm going through, and you're actually blacklisted. However, I'm dealing with corporate crimes, so we're dealing with participation in organised criminal groups. So basically it's just building a case against the body corporates that you are dealing with. So lucky for me, or should I say clever me, my case is an easy case to undo because I've been consistent with the breaches. Okay. Everything that to do with me, because it's my personal property, because of the protected disclosure, all these laws are active. Okay, all the laws involving my court case all comes active in a criminal case. Oh, and it also clears everyone within my space. The protected disclosure, it clears my family, it clears the church, it clears Pastor King, it clears all the people that I was close to. So because you're dealing with one person. So for example, if a person got murdered, this is what I am doing, is what the investigator will actually do: dig up the person's past, dig up all their complaints or anything to do with them, and then they've got to build a case and also try and find out who is responsible. So unfortunately for everyone who going back to 2010, all of them come back. Everybody in public office in my government are all, if they're alive, they will be investigated. But there's sufficient evidence to prove that privacy breaches and everything that I actually wrote in all my complaints are all true. So it's been quite exhausting for me putting everything together. It's traumatizing for me because I'm reliving all the evidence. So I'm just putting everything together, guys, for the next hearing. The next hearing is against independent police code of conduct. They actually have no case to answer. Since I've gone public with my case and opposing what the government is doing secretly with their video clips, and it's working. So I want to thank you for everyone that's saving my life. So I'm just putting everything together for the next hearing. It's a 5-day hearing, and obviously it's a public Commonwealth game, so no one is safe. It's definitely a privacy breach. But before I end this video, I will just quickly go over something. Okay, so I'm dealing with a protected disclosure with my employer. Okay, I put in a protected disclosure. I've actually done my research on the laws. Unfortunately, they are very, very at fault. Everybody in public office involving my case going back then, they are at fault. Everybody. This is where the Dan Brady, no, Dan Brady wasn't there then at that point of time. We're going back to 2010 here. But he would still have to prove himself innocent. But this here, basically what I'm showing is how it actually works. Okay. So all this here was in the protected disclosure in 2010. Every single thing I've written or victims write is actually true. So it's traumatizing for me because it's true. This is what I wanted to show you. Okay, this here is an affidavit. Okay, this here was written going back to, what year was it? I think it was 2000 and, just trying to think. Let's see if I can find. Okay, I just needed to find the end of that. Okay, it was signed by this deputy registrar. This here was going back 2009. Just hold on a moment. Okay, so this here was actually in regards to, pardon me, the privacy breaches. This is going back to the protected disclosure. Okay, see how I'm on this protected, in this affidavit, excuse me, it's been sworn. One of the judges actually read this at one of the hearings. Okay, this here was actually in a protected disclosure. And this here was also done by, I had the help of, who was it? One of the PSA delegate. But this here basically was just me talking about the privacy breaches. I was talking about being personally victimized and discriminated in the office. So I have found my court case really hard to put together, but there is definite evidence that they've victimized me personally since 2000 and since 2008 and so forth, the years that I've complained about it. Since 2006 it started, and I have found all my complaints. I'm just repeating the same thing, and now there's sufficient evidence to prove that the government involving me in their scientific experiment linking to the coding publicly and globally, they are all in big trouble. Because it's illegal to code a female or a man or a woman and then turn their life into a illegal Commonwealth game and use person for relationship scams, switching. That is what they've done to me. There's money involved in it, and it is also dehumanizing innocent civilians. Do they have anything that they can use against me legally? No. I swear that on the Bible, they do not have a case. They can try, but there's nothing that I have done according to the laws. They've dug up my past, and a lot of these people who are actually digging up people's past, they're not even lawyers. And in saying that, civil lawyers or civil judges, their expertise is not the same as the criminal judges or the criminal barristers. So my mindset, I've got the experience on both. So according to the law, they've broken every law as far as a person's liberty and using me as a pecuniary advantage. But it is definitely corporate crimes. The fact that you're using my family, that's illegal too. So I'm just going to go with it. The with the case. I will update you. I've actually been just in the recent time with going back with my last video clip. I've had so much opposition blocking me, making things difficult, glued to me, mocking me, just making things really difficult, being personally victimized. That is my personal experience. Obviously, it's quite serious case. So in the last little while, it has become quite overwhelming for me mentally. Also, just to the point where I'm emotionally drained and at risk of, just mental breakdown. So I've had to kind of just minimize stuff and just taking one day at a time and resting. But it has what the Ministry of Social Development did with all my complaints was definitely a clear case of a personal victimization and me being used for a relationship scam in order for the other women to steal. But those people are actually being groomed by other politicians or they call themselves agents. So keep in mind, guys, if it's not natural, another human being is actually controlling and manipulating your set of circumstances. You just need to do what I'm doing and build a case against them. I'll update everyone with my case. At this point in time, IPCA has not put in a self-defense. Okay, they have no self-defense, and they haven't submitted any self-defense. They've passed the 25 working day according to the legislation, not according to the judge. Okay, according to the legislation. It is a civil jurisdiction, so the civil jurisdiction laws are different, but there's a red flag there. And I can, it's quite easy for me to challenge everything because it's all about me. At the same time, they are psychologically threatening me by using sound effects, or the gangs come out, being threatening. Honestly, you guys need to go find a real job instead of, psychologically threatening people. But these are the kind of things I'm up against, and I'm going to stand against it legally and publicly. So at this point in time, I know it's nobody's business what I do with my private life, okay? But I am denouncing Natalie and all those other women, okay? So you guys are actually the conspirators because you're in my space. I'm not in yours. Okay, the minute you use my family, the minute you use my friends, the minute you use espionage to do what you're doing, you're breaking the law. Okay, that's how it works. I am denouncing that. Henry wants me to denounce everything. He's doing good. Nobody actually knows where he is except me. Probably, some other powerful people know behind the scene. They know how the system works, so they're definitely on my side, but no one knows where he is. Okay, only I do. It's been really tough for both of us, but we are denouncing the deception, public deception by Natalie, and those tariff readers. They're actually breaking the law. They're doing things as a joke, but this is what a breach does. When I was at Church of Christ, they were breaching my privacy over the pulpit, or breaching my privacy. I just know when they're talking about me or repeating something. Their whole idea is to condemn me. They were using my activities or my private life to condemn me. So that's a breach. You're not allowed to do that. That's wrong. And digging up people's past against them and then use it against them. You will not win if the opposing allies find something like that, and somebody is secretly doing that to, against that individual actually has a criminal case against those people, because that's unlawful. Okay, anything unlawful without a search warrant, you're breaking the law. So if you're using video clips to indirectly cause a conspiracy globally, that's a conspiracy tactic. Coding, it's a conspiracy tactic. And I swear to God, it can be used against you because it's a breach. So what I'm dealing with is a breach. I'm a private person, and so is Henry. And, the fact that people are doing what they're doing, you're deceiving the public, that's wrong. And yeah, so I will just finish my video clip. Okay, so it's been really traumatizing for me, because it's actually my soul everyone is playing games with. And that can now be proven globally, and everything to do with with me it's a very serious criminal case historically. Yeah, so it's been really traumatizing for me. So I'm going to just go with what I'm doing at the moment. But I have found it's been really, really a tough journey for myself. So just in a little while, I've just everything's just been over and above too much for me. I'm only human, okay, and I just know my limits. And so I've just had to just take it easy and just go with what I'm going through. So I've got a bit of time for my court case still. I'm putting everything together slowly. But at this point in time, Independent Police Code of Conduct do not have a defence. So just going with, I've got all my other court cases. I've moved, and yeah, just there's changing all the time, but I've had to kind of prioritize and put my mental health first, and just I just go through what I'm going through, write it out, and but I will continue to oppose the public lies as things pop up by those using video clips. All right, obviously, they don't want to surrender or admit. There's a lot of money involved, but the damage is already done, and it doesn't matter how long ago it was. Yeah, it's a very serious, indictable case of home invasion. So anything to do with the victims, it's cybercrime. Everything becomes a crime scene. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. And yeah, thanks for everyone that is watching me and watching over me. I know God's definitely with me, and I know I'm right in the center of God's will for my life. Okay, and I'm quite sure I will see happy days eventually. Well, just with the situation I'm going through, it's been out of my control. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll keep you guys in tuned as time moves on.